So these are the Jabra Elite 3s. They're Jabra's newest entry-level truly wireless earbuds, and overall I really can't complain about these guys. They have a decently small case with a long battery life, which is convenient and great for everyday carry, and they even have an ambient mode, which is great for daily commuters. Overall, the Jabra Elite 3s are solid.
Now we're going to pricing. The Elite 3s retail for $80, and at that price, you really can't be mad at these earbuds. And unlike a lot of other earbuds that retail for $100 or less, the Elite 3s actually feel fairly premium for their price. Because a lot of sub-$100 earbuds, like let's say from Skull Candy, Raycon, or even the Amazon EchoBuds 2, which actually retail for $120, do feel rather cheap in your hands by comparison. Nonetheless, if you want to pick the Elite 3s up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch shelf down below. I've made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I can be very particular. So I'll only set my name on something that I'm really proud of. Now first, let's talk about this case. The Elite 3's case is very similar to the Jabra Elite 75T's case, except it is a touch shorter. And the Elite 3's case is all around smaller than the Jabra Elite 85T's case, which are my favorite earbuds when it comes to active noise cancellation. And overall, the Elite 3's case is just a touch larger than the AirPods Pro's case, and it's also smaller than the Galaxy Buds 2 case and Beats Studio Buds case. So in general, the Elite 3s have a great case that you aren't going to notice too much when it's in your pocket. And when it comes to build quality, the case itself has a slate finish to it, which I'm always a fan of. The lid opens and closes very easily, which was always a gripe I had with the Jabra Elite 65Ts, and this case has decently strong magnets in it, making it easy to take your earbuds out and put them back in.
Now, when it comes to battery life, these earbuds have an advertised combined battery life of 28 hours with their transparency mode turned off. The earbuds themselves can go for 7 straight hours, and the case can supply 3 additional full charges. And overall, a combined battery life of 28 hours is really good on these earbuds, especially when you take into consideration the size of their case and even their price. And for comparison's sake, the Beats Studio Buds have an advertised combined battery life of 24 hours with their active noise cancellation turned off, and they have a noticeably larger case than the Elite 3s. And then there are the Galaxy Buds 2, which have an advertised combined battery life of 29 hours with their active noise cancellation turned off, and their case is still just a touch larger than the Elite 3's case. However, the Galaxy Buds 2 do have wireless charging, whereas with the Elite 3s, you can only charge them up with the USB-C port on the back. Now, personally, I don't really care about wireless charging on my earbuds, but I do want to point this out, either for the person that might have a phone that supports power sharing, or if you've already invested in multiple wireless charging mats.
But now let's talk about the earbuds themselves. Regarding fit, the Elite 3s fit like your standard pair of in-ear earbuds, as in, they go into your ear canals a decent amount, like let's say the Jabra Elite 75Ts or the Galaxy Buds 2. Overall, the Elite 3s fit fine. Their silicone ear tips don't get itchy, like let's say the foam ear tips that you'll find on the Sony WF-1000XM4s, so you can wear them for a while without much discomfort. They stay in place very well, and they passively block out a decent amount of noise. However, I would mainly recommend these earbuds for casual use. Since these earbuds don't have optional ear fins or ear hooks, they can wiggle out if you're working out with these earbuds. And also, keep in mind, the Elite 3s don't fit like the Jabra Elite 85Ts, which have a more shallow, natural fit to them.
Now, regarding connectivity, this is actually a little bittersweet. With the Elite 3s, each earbud establishes a connection with your phone. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you can use either one, it doesn't matter. And this is the connection setup that we expect to see from our earbuds nowadays. Because up until now, all of Jabra's earbuds have been using a hero and sidekick setup, even the Jabra Elite 85Ts, meaning that one earbud, the right earbud, the hero earbud, actually establishes a connection with your phone, and then relays that connection over to the left earbud. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you gotta use the correct earbud, or in this case, the right earbud, the hero earbud. Now, earbuds that are still using a hero and sidekick setup these days are either last gen or just cheaper. However, the thing Jabra's earbuds really has going for them is that they can be simultaneously connected to any two Bluetooth devices at the same time, so you can easily hot swap from one device to another regardless of operating system, which is great for power users. Whereas with the Elite 3s, they can only be connected to one device at a time. So they just aren't as convenient as Jabra's past earbuds. Now, when it comes to performance, the Elite 3s have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. And when it comes to audio codecs, the Elite 3s have support for SBC and aptX. But aptX really only matters if you're an Android user, and I do suspect that the majority of people watching this video are going to be Android users, because the Elite 3s are really meant for Android users, just given that they charge via a USB-C port.
But now let's talk about actually listening to music with these earbuds. Just like with most other Jabra earbuds, the Elite 3s are going to be better suited for someone who likes a more bass-heavy EQ. Now, don't get me wrong, these earbuds sound good with decent instrument separation, but these earbuds don't sound anywhere near as open as, let's say, the Galaxy Buds 2, or especially the Sennheiser CXs. And I can't help but feel that the highs could be crisper. Now, even though I just said I would mainly recommend these earbuds to someone who likes a more bass-heavy EQ, keep in mind, these earbuds don't have as much bass and it's not as clean as the bass that you'll find on either the Beats Studio Buds or again, the Sennheiser CXs. But thankfully, these earbuds do have a few preset EQ settings to choose from, and this app plays nice with both Android and iOS. Here's looking at you, Galaxy Buds 2. Now, you have a few different EQ settings to choose from, and personally, I think Energize sounds best. But you can't actually make your own EQ like you can with Jabra's other earbuds. Now, when it comes to your media controls, these earbuds are still using physical buttons, and some people still prefer physical buttons on their earbuds. Now, personally, I prefer haptic touchpads like the ones found on AirPods, but that's a whole other story. Now, with these earbuds, you use the right earbud to skip through your music, and the left earbud is used to cycle between your ambient mode, activate your voice assistant, and answer calls. And if you press and hold on these earbuds, you can adjust the volume of your music. But unfortunately, you can't customize the layout of your control buttons like you can with the Jabra Elite 85Ts or Jabra's other earbuds. So you're stuck with what Jabra gave you.
But finally, regarding the media controls on these earbuds, unfortunately, the Elite 3s don't have proximity sensors, so they aren't going to automatically play or pause your music when you take these earbuds out or put them back into your ears. And personally, I do feel that this is a noticeable inconvenience. But you really can't be upset at these earbuds just given that these are Jabra's sub-$100 earbuds. However, these earbuds do have an ambient mode, and it's actually pretty good. It sounds very natural with zero hissing in the background, and this microphone array does a really good job of blocking out wind noise when walking outdoors. However, the only thing to keep in mind here is that you can't adjust how much ambient noise these earbuds let in, like with Jabra's other earbuds. But finally, here's the microphone test, and overall, I'm gonna have to say that the Elite 3s have a decent sounding microphone on them for phone calls while in a quiet room. While in a quiet room, my voice is very easy to hear because this microphone has more amplification to it than the microphone found on the Jabra Elite 85Ts. Now, when it comes to blocking out noise pollution, this microphone does a really good job of blocking out road noise, aka a constant low frequency sound, all while still keeping my voice front and center. However, when it comes to blocking out chatter, aka a random higher frequency sound, this microphone doesn't do as good of a job. You can definitely hear a lot more chatter in the background this time around. But I also noticed that, like, let's say you're in a quiet room and you're having a phone call, and if, let's say, your dog starts barking in the background, or if you've got a little one and they're running around, this microphone is going to pick all of that up as well. So, like I said, I think this microphone is good for phone calls, but I would rather try to take phone calls with these earbuds in a quieter environment because chatter is going to get in very easily.
But with all that being said, the Jabra Elite 3s are a great pair of entry-level earbuds to consider. From a build quality standpoint, these earbuds feel great. They don't feel as premium as, let's say, the Jabra Elite 85Ts, but they feel more premium than their direct competitors. And these earbuds have almost all of the features that they need to be super convenient. They have a small case that isn't too noticeable in your pocket. They have a long combined battery life. They have a good sounding microphone for phone calls. They sound good, and they even have a really good ambient mode, which is great for constant commuters. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know, I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something that I'm really proud of.